College football season is over, at least the regular season anyway. It's championship weekend. The latest playoff rankings are out, and Alabama seems to be sitting pretty. Welcome to Beat Everyone. I'm Ben Flanagan with AL.com. Alabama has Georgia on Saturday. More on that later. It's the SEC championship. The big question in Tuscaloosa is, will Alabama make the playoff no matter what happens in Atlanta on Saturday? If they win, they're obviously in. If they lose, then the ever reliable, the ever logical college football playoff committee has a decision to make. In the meantime, the games will happen, and we will wait. To help me understand this world and all of its chaos is AL.com Alabama beat writer Matt Stahl. Matt, you confirmed what we all knew, that Jordan-Hare Stadium is haunted in a report last week. You went to Auburn, you covered the Iron Bowl, you watched from about a mile away in that press box. You survived, and your reward is covering another Alabama-Georgia game. There's already been one this season, and we've seen them play a million times. And then all this college football playoff confusion that you have to cover and explain. How are you holding up right now?
Doing good. I mean, it's a lot of fun games at this point in the year, so I mean, you can't really. It's busy, but you can't complain that much. It's a good time, and at this point, I'm pretty well familiar with how to get around Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so should be a should be a pretty familiar week, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a home away from home for Alabama football fans and the players, but also the media who cover them. Alabama seems to go there if not every year, then every other year. So an intimate familiarity with it. Where did this Iron Bowl, having covered a few of them now, where did this one rank for you?
Boy, I don't know if it was quite as good a game as the Gravedigger one, but I mean, it was a great game. Quite a that fourth down call. I was standing on kind of the Alabama sideline. And I said to somebody, I was like, "There's no way they're going to actually snap this ball," and they did. It's like, oh, that was it was quite a game. But yeah, I don't know that it surpasses the 2023 game.
Yeah, no. And last year was kind of a stinker. Alabama, it was an ugly win
Yeah,
for Alabama. They still won by 2 touchdowns. Auburn was just that bad. So I understand, like in the games that you've covered, this one being like second,
yeah,
fourth, and 31. All right. Well,
yeah.
the
And
playoff.
I feel like the Tuscaloosa ones are always kind of down the line as far as like exciting games go.
Yeah, and they like it that way.
Yeah.
Um, so the college football playoff. Here are the top 12, Matt. Number one, Ohio State. Going down the list: Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama at 9, Notre Dame at 10, BYU, and rounding it out, Miami. And on the outside looking in right now, a couple of SEC teams: Texas and Vanderbilt at 13 and 14, respectively. Matt, Alabama jumped Notre Dame. People got upset, but some people, including a few out there in Las Vegas, anticipated the jump. What did you think?
Uh, I think the committee probably wanted to just cover itself in case Alabama loses this SEC championship game. I think after last year's run of the SEC complaining, saber rattling, etc., after Alabama didn't get in, uh, they're probably not leaving a 10-2 SEC, even an SEC championship game loser, Alabama out. Unless, I mean, you can't go lose 73 to nothing or something. But this sort of gives them cover next week to bounce Notre Dame if need be and leave Alabama in it.
So at the center of all this is the CFP chair, Hunter Yurachek, also the Arkansas AD, who just made a huge hire there for the Hogs. Here's what he had to say, because everybody was paying attention to his comments and the reasoning for putting Alabama where they were behind Notre Dame last week. But here's what he had to say about Alabama leaping Notre Dame in the rankings. Quote, and bear with me here: "The debate between Alabama and Notre Dame over the past 3 weeks has been one of the strongest debates we've had in the room for the past 2 years that I've been a member of the committee. I think that this week, as we looked at those two teams and how close they've been over the past 3 weeks, Notre Dame went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game and looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well," he stressed. "Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call, 4th and 2, late in the fourth quarter to get a touchdown, and then got the turnover late in the game." So recap the game for us. And I think that was enough to change the minds of a couple of committee members, a couple of committee members. That's interesting to push Alabama up ahead of Notre Dame in this week's rankings. End quote. So, Matt, do you follow Hunter Yurachek and the committee's logic here?
No, because Auburn stinks. Logic from the committee has always been they do the thing they want to do, and then they send the guy out on TV and into the media teleconference, and seemingly just tell him come up with something to justify this thing that we wanted to do. So, I guess basically the committee is giving Jordan Air Stadium credit for being haunted. It seems. Uh, because there's no one touchdown game against a 5-7 team that is playing on an interim coach that I think should change your playoff fortunes. Like, that's crazy to me. But I probably agree with the move, like putting Alabama ahead of Notre Dame, but I'd have done it last week, and I don't think this is quite the logic I would use to get there.
Your good friend and AL.com colleague and Missouri superfan, I should note, Nick Kelly, posted this last night online. Quote, does Alabama have an argument to be ranked ahead of Notre Dame? Yes. Should it have happened after this past week? Nah. End quote. Matt, what do you think of Nick trying to rile up the Alabama fan base with this take?
Standard, Nick Kelly clickbaiting on X the Everything app. But no, I mean he's right on this one. I got a call from him earlier today, just ranting and raving about how the Tigers were unjustly left out of the top 25 altogether.
Yeah, we've been
Like,
hearing it
just
all year.
yeah, I could hear him like ripping his shirt in half on the phone. It was a crazy call. But yeah, I mean he's right on this one. It's weird for the committee to do it after that game. I mean, Notre Dame also beat a not very good team. Uh, I guess I guess Stanford doesn't quite get the same credit that Auburn does, but yeah, it's a weird move to make now, even if you do think it is the right move.
It's silly. I mean, if you're comparing the wins, they smash a really bad Stanford team in Auburn. I'm sorry, in Alabama. I guess barely beats Auburn on the road. I guess like if you're weighing the nature of the games and the rivalries and I guess Auburn's a better rivalry and maybe they had more to play for than Stanford. I don't know. I don't know that that's really a conversation that you should have in a room like that deciding rankings like this. But we heard Kalen DeBoer after the Iron Bowl make the case for Alabama as a playoff team, essentially saying win or lose, Alabama should be in. He emphasized we're 7-1 in the SEC over and over and over. He said his mind would be blown. It would be unreal if they left Alabama out at this point. He said the same thing this week. And Matt, look, I mean, Alabama is technically the top seed in this game on Saturday. So in the SEC, which currently has 5 teams in the projected playoff field, Alabama, again, technically had the best season of all of those teams in this conference. And so we saw last year the committee, they didn't want to punish teams for making their respective conference championship games. So win or lose, they belong in the playoffs. So if that happens on Saturday, if Alabama loses, let's answer this first. Will they make the playoff?
I think if they play competitively, yes. If they get just run out of the place, maybe not. Like again, you can't lose by 70 points. You can't take like a 4 touchdown just crushing in that game, I think, and still make it. Like, you at least have to look like you belong in the SEC championship game. Which, I mean, there's a chance Alabama beats Georgia again. Like, it seems like we're all just kind of dismissing this out of hand, like acting like this is some sort of foregone conclusion that Alabama's going to lose this SEC championship game to Georgia. Like, they won in Athens earlier this season. I mean, some things have changed since then, but like not that much. Like, I'm expecting it to be a competitive game. So, like, yes, I think they're going to make the playoffs, but do I think it's like some just guaranteed, like you have like the mandate of having to be in the playoff at this point? Like, no.
Not a lock, you're saying. I mean, I think some of the metrics out there say Alabama currently as it stands now, has a 98+% chance of making the playoffs. So somebody, whether it's computers or experts or whomever, they think Alabama's in no matter what. Different question, should they make it, win or lose?
Probably. I mean, you could make the argument for some other. I see the argument I don't quite get. 9-3 Texas that lost to Florida in the regular season. I don't know that that's a good argument. If it comes down to Alabama, Vanderbilt, Alabama's got the like head to head. Even though, like, man, it'd be kind of playoff Diego Pavia would be kind of fun to watch. But I think that's perhaps reached the end there. The Yeah, they probably should be in, but if you really want to be in, don't lose to Florida State the first week of the season is my stance on that. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna necessarily weep for Alabama if they don't make it with that loss on the record.
Sounds like you want to go back to Tampa, Matt. That's what it sounds like to me here for the for
That
the
I,
radio for the Radio
no, no,
Shack
no,
Bowl.
no.
You want to go back to the Radio Shack Bowl, the Shoney's Bowl, as our
Look,
friend.
I, this is the beat writer's conundrum, right? Is you really don't like you're supposed to cheer for the team you cover, but it is a much better experience to cover college football playoff games than the boy. I last year was having a real tough time. I took to calling the ReliaQuest Bowl the Who Gives a F.com Bowl, and was struggling really hard not to say that in front of an employee of said bowl. So that was
They know.
that's the
They
that
know.
yeah
They know. They get it. I think they
yeah.
would.
But yeah, I would like to avoid Tampa. If Alabama misses out on the playoff this year, I would like to pitch the Music City Bowl to the powers that be. I think that would be a
Yeah,
great
I wonder
spot.
why. Where are you
Yeah,
from
specifically.
again?
Yeah, don't worry about that. A spot where I could just go home for Christmas and hang out for a few extra days. It'd be great for me specifically.
Yeah, maybe catch a Predators game if they're in town. Matt, you mentioned Vanderbilt. They're probably going to miss the playoff. They have a case to make it. They certainly do. I mean, any SEC team that goes 10-2 has a case to make, and the fact that it's Vanderbilt, I think, gives people incentive to put them in just because. But Diego Pavia is probably going to win the Heisman Trophy at this point. I mean, he's the odds-on favorite at the moment. The only problem is he's not playing in a championship game.
Yeah.
Jordan Sayin is. Mendoza is. Ty Simpson is. If Ty Simpson throws for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, maybe he's back in the conversation. So you don't think so? You don't think if he has the game of his life, the best game Ty Simpson's ever played, locks a playoff spot down, beats Georgia again, you don't think that he could win it?
Win it? No.
No.
I think
You go to New
I think
York.
that ship has sailed. There's I'm hanging on to a hotel room for if he throws for 700 yards in this game, but like I just don't see it at this point. Also, I mean, there's a world where maybe Sayin and Julie and Jeremiah Smith split some votes on the Ohio State.
Yeah, but who has
They're
won it though? Who has just reached out and grabbed the Heisman at this point? It's not Simpson, obviously, because of the way he's
yeah.
played here in the back half of the season. I mean, he was the Heisman winner first 6 games of the year. We all know that. But I get it's got to be Pavia at this point, doesn't it? I mean, the way writers
Yeah,
go, he's the best story.
yeah, I think Pavia. I think Pavia's got a real shot at it. I am not a voter. I actively avoid voting on such things like this. But I mean, to me, it's clear cut. Should be Jeremiah Smith. I think a lot of the success Julian Sayin has had is because he's got the throw the ball up to Jeremiah Smith button in his offensive arsenal. Like that guy's unbelievable. So
Pick the
and I
finalists,
think
Matt. Pick the finalists.
um, Smith, Sayin, Pavia, Mendoza.
Okay. Makes sense. So Simpson still on the outside looking in right now, but if he has a huge game against Georgia, he would get potentially a trip to New York out of it, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like it would need to be some huge game though. Like you can't pull him at halftime because you're up 4 scores in this game or something. Like you need to keep on going, let him get some style points. Like
Yeah.
he needs to put up some like Mike Leach air raid numbers in
He
this
needed
one.
that. He needed that against Auburn too, to be quite honest with you. Like I think if he had had a combo, sort of like couple of games, rivalry game, conference championship game, where again he's that Ty Simpson from the first half of the season, then maybe. But it's a moot point, I think, at this point. So Matt, the playoff committee is under scrutiny every year we go through this, but this year it seems like it's a little bit louder than usual in our second year now with this 12-team format. I mean, even people in sports media going after them. Longtime college football reporter Bruce Feldman usually pretty reserved, like very like mild mannered, just straight to the point guy, hit them pretty hard last night online, responding to a quote from Hunter Yurachek saying it's easier to use head to head wins as a data point if the teams are back to back in the rankings. Bruce posted the following quote: "This is all so effing stupid. They just keep making it up as they go along. It's like the CFP committee is going out of its way to show that the sport is run by morons." End quote. So he's not alone, right? Like some people miss the BCS at this point. They want the computers back. We don't have to single out Bruce anymore here. There's a lot to choose from. But Matt, your general thoughts on the committee and their process that they insist on sharing every week when these rankings are unveiled?
All right. So first of all, the playoff is too big. We've made it too big at this point. Like these bubble teams, like it just what are we doing? Like these aren't teams that have a real, like legitimate national championship shot, I think. And maybe one of them gets hot and proves me wrong here, but like I don't think there's 12 teams that can really win a national championship. I don't think there were 12 teams that could win a national championship last year. It's good. It's better than the 4-team field, I think, in that it gives everybody hope all season, which the 4-team field did not. But again, I've said it on this show before, like the real path to nirvana in college football is getting rid of the national championship game altogether. Like we don't need to worry about making money for ESPN. Like everybody in this sports like has in their head that like the good thing to do is make a bunch of money for ESPN. We don't need to do that. Kill it. Get rid of any national championship game. Let the bowl, like if the bowls want to stick around, I don't care. Make them meaningless or whatever. Again, name the national championship champion before the bowls if we want to do that. Do it via the AP, or I mean, shoot, if you go undefeated and you win your conference, beat your rival, whole deal, claim a national championship, I don't care. End the meaningful season at the conference championship games. We'd all have a lot better time, I think, in the regular season. That's the ideal way to do it. This isn't a sport that's conducive to really having a final national champion. On to the committee. Yes,
Hang
they seem
on,
like more.
hang on. We'll get to the committee in just a second. Matt, you're a total maniac with this take, and
No,
you've been hitting it with
I'm
us for
right.
years. You've been hitting
I'm
it
right.
with us for years.
Everybody else
Who's
is
your
wrong.
EPL team?
I'm right.
Who's your EPL team, Matt? Who is it? You must
I don't have any.
follow. You must follow soccer.
No, not really.
Why do you have to take?
In
This
my
is a
youth,
soccer. This
in
is a
my youth
soccer
I
take.
liked Arsenal, but like that was just because the name sounded cool. In the no, I'm not a big soccer guy.
It's a soccer take, but in sport, it's not sports to me if there's not a win it all game. There has to be a win it all game. And in college football, they've obviously dug themselves a hole in the sense that they've made it hard. And this has been for years and years in this sport, right? Like who's the national champion? Well, according to some people, for years it's this team, and according to others, it's them. And all these teams can claim it. Auburn just claimed 45 national championships during the offseason, entering 2025. So it's always been kind of a not kind of it's always been a huge mess. And people thought the BCS would help. That was enough of a mess, and there was enough chaos there to move on from that to a 14 playoff. 4 wasn't enough. Now we're in 12, which I totally agree with you. It's way too many. And now we're hearing people say, well, the way to solve this is to expand to 16. So when does it end, Matt?
It should end with not having a national championship game. Like again, we've all convinced ourselves that we need to make money for like these cable networks, and it's just not the case. College football has never ever been like the national championship has never been the best part of college football. It has always been the journey through the season, playing these huge rivalry games, which by the way, we've killed with these 16, 18 team conferences. Like that stinks in God's nostrils at this point. You can't Conferences are way too big because again, TV money, gotta go get the TV money. Natural rivals be damned. Like we're not remember divisions? Divisions turned out to be a pretty good situation. Now we have these 10-way tiebreakers in these conferences. You got 7-6 Duke going to a conference championship game. And you got people arguing on ESPN that they should be in the playoff over 11-1 James Madison. Like this is insane to me. But just make the regular season the thing. It's always been your best thing. And I mean, look, if you lose to Auburn, that should make your season a failure. That's fine. That it make your season a failure. Like that's good. It makes those games matter so much more. And instead, all anybody's worried about is, well, can Alabama wind up playing at Oklahoma in the first round game? Like it's dumb. It's all dumb.
All right, I'll let it go for now, Matt. You can have your take. Let's move on to the committee. You were saying onto the committee. I mean, your just thoughts on them and the logic they spew every week that people seem to respond unkindly to.
Yeah, they seem like morons.
Oh, okay.
At
Well,
least the public facing side of it. Like, why are we putting like if the committee's going to do what the committee wants to do, right? Like they're going to stick Hunter Yurachek on TV. He's going to come up with something to justify what they did in the room earlier that day. Like that just is what it is. And honestly, it comes back to a few years ago when Alabama got in over Florida State, Florida State was undefeated at that point. And like you can argue one way or the other on that. Like it's like that's not the point here. The point was the committee sort of set the precedent that the games don't necessarily matter. And like at this point, people can just kind of justify whatever they want. If the games don't matter, you know, who cares? It's they're going to do whatever they want. They're going to build the 12-team field that they want, and it just it is what it is. There's got to be a better way of selecting this. I understand the committee likes it. I understand the committee gets a lot of Marriott points going and hanging out at the Dallas JW Marriott, but like this can't be the way. I don't know that the way is necessarily just go straight back to the BCS as a selector because, like, as a reminder, the BCS sucked. Like, people hated the BCS. People, I, but yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a better way. Is my stance on this
always,
matter.
always appreciate the lukewarm takes, Matt. And you know, maybe they should let EA Sports let the video game decide who the top 12 are. No bias there on the video. I've never even played the new NCAA game. I still get the PS2 out sometimes and play the 2008 version of it with the Boise State guy on the cover.
Man, we're just getting into you just pivoted into the old man takes here, didn't we?
Well,
I've never,
what am I?
never got all the newfangled video game
I didn't. I
consoles.
stopped. I stopped at PS2. I couldn't keep up. It wasn't for me. But yeah, occasionally I'll bust it out. Man, I'll bust out the NFL Blitz sometimes on the N64 and
Yeah, I've got.
that rickety old
I,
thing.
I think I've got that somewhere still.
All right.
But
Well, watch who you're calling an old man then, Matt.
all right, okay.
All right, give me a take on Alabama, Georgia. Georgia's favored by 2.5 right now. It's an in-season revenge game, pretty rare. Alabama got him in Athens. DeBoer's been in this situation before. He was in it at Washington. He beat Dan Lanning in Oregon twice in one season when they made the playoff back in 2023. We keep saying win or lose with this expectation. You said this earlier that Alabama's just going to lose and they're going to need an argument to get into the playoff. But DeBoer's 2-0 against Kirby Smart so far. What do you think about this one?
I've, Alabama's defense has looked really good. They did pretty well to put the clamps on Georgia earlier this season. Uh, so, got to keep that up. But I mean, the Alabama offense just has to wake up. It hasn't been really good in the last several weeks, really the last month. So, yeah, you gotta do that. I think you see a little more from Ty Simpson. You need to see a lot more from some of those wide receivers at Alabama. Yeah, which I mean, this isn't the hottest take in the world. Offense needs to play good to win the game, but yeah, that's it.
What about Ryan Williams, Matt? What's with him? We've heard Isaiah Horton talk about him. We've heard Kalen DeBoer talk about him. They say he's fine. There's nothing to it. Jeremy Bernard also said it this week, but he doesn't look fine. Ryan Williams has not been the same guy he was last year, at least during the first half of last year. It's been odd. Cameras cutting to him while he's on the sideline during clutch moments in the Iron Bowl, for instance. What do you know about what Ryan Williams? What's is it a mental thing? Is it a physical thing? Is there a nagging injury? What can you tell us about Ryan Williams?
Yeah, I really don't know on that one. Straight up. Like, I do wonder if this is a situation where you get to the end of the season and it's like, oh yeah, Ryan was playing with two broken legs all year. Like one of those. You know how sometimes that'll come out the week after the season. It's like, oh yeah, Ryan Williams had surgery for 15 torn ligaments throughout his body, sort of deal. So it's never seemed like he's quite right all season. I do wonder if there's something up, but yeah, I mean, if he against Georgia, it would be enormous for Alabama if he could step up and have sort of the vintage Ryan Williams freshman year game.
Can I give you a little credit, Matt? Before the season started, I asked you which Alabama player is going to be a household name several weeks into the season. You picked Josh Cuevas, the Alabama tight end, and he's obviously injured. He'll be out for this game. He was out for the Iron Bowl, and everybody's talking about how big a piece will be missing for Ty Simpson in Alabama. So, do you want to spike the football on that one? The importance of Josh Cuevas and losing him for a game like this?
Yeah, I'm big brain me. Come on, everybody should listen to me more. I think I should actually be the commissioner of college football at this point with all these great takes. But yeah, he's such a reliable piece of the passing game, right? Like it seemed like there were times where everybody else on offense sort of had the drops at like a certain point. Josh Cuevas, I don't think I've ever seen him drop a pass. Like he's always he tends to get open. He's very reliable, and yeah, it takes away a big safety valve for Ty Simpson. So yeah, I think it could be something of an issue in this game.
Tough one, yeah. I mean, the tight ends were still involved in the Iron Bowl, but they weren't making quite the same plays and weren't the safety valves that Josh Cuevas has been for Ty Simpson. He obviously misses him. All right, well, offense must play well to win this game. I agree with you, Matt, and I appreciate you sharing that and being so open and honest with us about that and about the College Football Playoff Committee. Appreciate you holding back as usual.
Mm-hmm.
He is Matt Stahl. Read his work on AL.com. Matt, we appreciate it as always.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, find the show anywhere you get your podcast. Rate us, review us, leave comments on the YouTube page. We'll read them on the air. If you got a question for us, we'll have experts like Matt answer them. He's promising to do that right now. Matt, good luck in Atlanta this weekend. Safe travels. We'll see y'all later.